sexuality educator, and I love being a sex educator. I love talking about sex. I love helping people learn more about their bodies, learn more about how to communicate about sex. It's awesome. But like any job, it definitely has its downsides. So today, I actually wanted to share with you 5 of my sex educator pet peeves. None of them are like a huge deal, but they're just like little things that I come up against either in my work or that I just see in my life that, you know, just... Number 1, when 2 kids are friends and one's a boy and one's a girl. And that is not what bugs me. What bugs me is whenever I hear adults sort of making jokes or teasing them about being boyfriend and girlfriend. I think teasing someone about their friends, it's just gonna make them feel super weird and uncomfortable. Like, I would feel super weird and uncomfortable if someone was teasing me about who I was friends with. I feel like there's this overall cultural attitude we have that people of different genders, like boys and girls, and especially like men and women, can't just have a friendship, and that if there's any kind of like affection or caring between them, that always gets conflated with sexual attraction. And I think that part of the reason that exists is because from the time kids are super, super little, people will make this big deal about being friends with someone of not your gender. The last reason I think it annoys me is because as a sex educator, I constantly come up against people who are against teaching kids about sexual identity and sexual orientation because they think they're too young, and yet it seems to be completely socially acceptable to make these jokes about little kids and their friends that completely impose a heterosexual identity on them and what they're doing. So that just seems like a weird, irritating double standard for me. I touched on this in a previous video. When people say vagina, when what they mean is vulva. The vulva are your lips, like your labia, minora majora, your clitoris, the place where your urethra is. It's a vaginal opening, like the hole that you see. It's the outside bits. Your vagina it's the canal. It's inside your body. It's, you know, where if you choose to, you will put your tampons, and depending on, you know, your sexual activity and taste, you know, maybe fingers or a toy or a penis, and depending on your life choices, it's where a baby might come out. That's your vagina. Now, I know a lot of other people's pet peeves are people like me who are like, the vagina and the vulva aren't the same thing. They're like, be quiet. I want to call it a vagina. And you know what? If it's just like you referring to your own body, or, you know, you're just like you with your sexual partners, and when you say vagina, you know what you mean, and your sexual partners know what you mean, and, you know, you can still communicate about your sexual pleasure and your sexual health and all that. That's fine. Like, it's your body. You can call your parts whatever you want to call them. But if you're someone who is writing an article that's going to be in an actual publication, or you're teaching a class or a workshop, then you're an educator, and so use the actual correct anatomical terminology. If, I don't know, I was a face educator and I was teaching people about faces, and I was like, oh, you know, my mouth, you'd be like, what are you talking about? This is your mouth. It's a specific thing. So it's the same thing. The vagina is just a specific thing. The vagina is the mouth of the vulva. Okay, number 3, using bananas for condom demonstrations. Like, again, if you're in a pinch and, you know, you're just in your house and your teen comes up to you and is like, how do I put on a condom? And like, all you have is this banana, then again, like, it's fine. You do what you have to do. It's better than not showing them. Oh, there's a fly. Go away, go away. But in a formal, planned sex education setting, like a classroom, like your health class, I don't think that using bananas are appropriate. Most directions are not banana-sized, and they're not really banana-shaped either. Also, I feel like now the banana penis connection in our culture has become so strong from these demonstrations that it has kind of wrecked eating bananas for me on a personal level. I really like bananas. I think they're super convenient and tasty, and they come in their own package. And once upon a time, I could eat one on the subway, but now I can't do that. Like, I can't just peel one and bite into it because I feel like there are all these connotations in oral sex and people stare and snicker and it's uncomfortable. So what I wind up having to do is like break it off with my fingers, and then my fingers get all sticky, and like that's not okay. So this is something that I heard repeatedly when Ontario changed some of the guidelines for sex education. And that was people in the media, like people in a position of authority, implying that talking to kids about sex or teaching them about sexuality would suddenly make them want to go and have sex. When you talk to younger kids about sex, they may react in a variety of ways. Some of them think it's interesting, some of them think it's gross, some of them think it's funny, some of them think it's weird. It usually is a combination of all of those depending on what you're talking about. When you talk to older kids or teens, they may or may not be, less giggly and appalled than younger kids, because the information may be a little bit more relevant to what they're going through in their lives, but it still doesn't really make them want to have sex. There's nothing sexy about hearing your mom say the word clitoris. Lastly, those educational diagrams of genitals that you find in textbooks and things, those are bullshit. I mean, yes, all the parts are labeled and you can learn the names, but like every penis is like smooth and circumcised, and every vulva has the perfectly symmetrical lips, and every anus is this like neat, tidy little asterisk, and if there's pubic hair, it's like this very neatly coiffed, like little wisps of hair around the edge, and apparently intersex genitalia does not exist at all. People in our culture have enough body image issues, we have enough sexual hang-ups without being led to believe that our pants bits need to be, neat and tidy and smooth. I mean, maybe your genitals are like that, in which case, like, amazing, roll on. But I'm just saying there's like a wide range of genitals, and you know what? Sometimes it's like a beautiful wild kingdom down there, and there are all kinds of different parts, and some of them bump up against each other and they're not all tidy, and there's different shapes, and sometimes there's fluid, and there can be a whole lot of hair like flowing down there, and it's all good. It's good. It's lovely. So I would just love to see like textbooks and diagrams and handout reflect some of the diversity that can be found within the range of human genitalia. All right, 5 of my sex educator pet peeves. Let me know down in the comments, do you have any pet peeves around how we talk about sex, how sex is portrayed in media, sexual experiences you may have had? Let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, then please like it, share it, and of course, subscribe. And if you want to find out more about my work, then head on over to my website, NadineThornhill.com, to find out more about my personal coaching, my classes, my workshops, and what I have coming up next. That is all for today. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye. If you missed my last vlog, then click to find out all about my big summer controversy. And don't forget to subscribe and follow me on social media. Hope you're having a great summer.